The topic is the wisdom economy, or entering the wisdom economy, how to enter the wisdom economy. And the premise for this presentation is a comparison between the content economy and the wisdom economy. The real premise is that you don't need more content. You need a different container. So let's get into it. Now, I am referring to notes because this presentation is too important for me to just wing it and hope that I get all the points across. And so you will see me referring across screen like that, and that's because I am referring to prepared notes. So entering the wisdom economy. You're here because you're right, and you most likely publish on the Substack platform, maybe elsewhere too. And maybe you've even got some books published on Amazon, one or two. Either way, you're in the game. You're already in the game. And you're getting the likes, you get the kind words, and it feels great. It really does feel good, doesn't it? But maybe also getting some followers, a few email subscribers, always nice. The occasional share, someone drops a comment in one of your posts that says, "You're such a great writer." And it gives you a hit of feel-good dopamine, a nice moment. But then what? What happens after the buzz wears off? Well, here's the truth. Even if you're not saying this out loud, I bet you're thinking it or feeling it, because something feels off. It feels unfinished. Something feels incomplete, unfulfilling. You're working hard. You're putting your soul into the content, and I bet you are. You certainly feel you are. You're showing up, you're publishing, you're posting, and you're staying visible. And yet, and if you're anything like I was, that disconnect starts to wear you down. So let's talk about it. What's the real cost of playing the content game? This is where I found myself not that long ago. I was churning out content like I was trying to make butter from milk. I was pouring my energy into notes here on Substack, newsletters going out regularly, lots of comments, involved in much the same way you are probably involved on Substack too. Showing up on video, interviewing others occasionally, always felt like I was giving, always posting, always sharing. And yet the return? Crickets. And yes, a few kind souls cheered me on just like they cheer you on, and I appreciate that. But financially, nothing was moving, and I felt being stuck in the slow lane on the freeway. Everyone around me seemed to be speeding ahead. I'm sure you see the notes and the posts of people on Substack who are killing it with a thousand subscribers in one day, or even some people quoting their revenue statistics with their behind the paywall subscriptions. Well, that's great, but here I was still churning, still hoping something would change. And that's when I hit a moment of truth. A simple moment, really, but it really did change everything. I had an epiphany that changed everything. I was at a recycled books library here in Melbourne, Australia, where I live, just browsing and not looking for something in particular, but I do like to browse through second-hand used books that are being recycled. And then I saw one book, this book. I'll hold it up. The Wisdom Years, Unleashing the Potential in Later Life. Can you see that there? Now, that's probably not a title that you're familiar with. And look at those words there, unleashing your potential. That's probably really the premise for what we're talking about here, about entering the wisdom economy. It's unleashing the restrained potential that you have when you stay stuck in the content economy. You're not likely to find this book. There is a book that you will likely find. You may already be familiar with it, and I have to refer to it as well. It's a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller, written by Russell Brunson, a name that you'd be familiar with if you're at all familiar with direct marketing, direct response marketing, online marketing, and building of funnels online. Russell Brunson, Expert Secrets. Now, this book I do recommend, and it falls perfectly in line with what we're talking about, entering the wisdom economy, positioning yourself in the wisdom economy as opposed to being one of the many churning out content. What did Robert Kiyosaki say about this book? He said, Expert Secrets is the map that will allow you to turn your specialized knowledge, talents, and abilities into a business. It's not a dirty word, business that will work for you. And this is one of the shortcuts of the new rich. If you haven't got a copy of this book, I encourage you to get that, Expert Secrets. But back to the wisdom years, unleashing your potential in later life. Something about the title, The Wisdom Years, hit me square in the chest when I saw that book at the book library. And I picked it up. Actually, it felt more like the book was holding me, not the other way around. And I read one sentence and then another, and suddenly it clicked. I've been operating in the wrong economy. I've been trapped in what I now know as the content economy. And I needed to step into the wisdom economy. And that's what I'm encouraging you to think about today. The one shift changed everything for me. And it's why I'm here today sharing this moment with you. So what is the wisdom economy specifically? Let's break it down. First of all, the content economy by comparison is crowded. It's noisy. It's a constant churn of information. Everyone's shouting. Everyone's sharing. Everyone's hoping someone will care. The wisdom, it's quieter. It's calmer. It's slower and far more valuable. The content economy says more posts, more reach, more. The wisdom economy says say less, but mean more. It values perspective over performance, lived experience over packaged expertise, and presence over promotion. In the wisdom economy, people aren't paying for content. They're paying for connection. Keyword, connection. And they're paying for guidance. They're paying to sit with someone who's been where they are and can say, I get it. Here's what helped me. But hold on. Just hold on a minute. Mike Searles, Mentor Mike. Why listen to me on this subject about the wisdom economy? Well, in my final decade of self-employment, I worked in marketing, consulting, coaching, training, copywriting, speaking, hosting, interviewing, writing for others, and I was always paid well, always busy. But after 10 years of 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and let me just pause there, can you relate to that? Long days, many days a week. I burnt out. So I retired 3 years ago in 2022. But nothing prepared me for what was to come. And in fact, I just had an emotional moment there, reliving this or about to relive this. So I'm going to take a sip of water, if you'll excuse me, because it's true. In retirement, nothing prepared me for what was to come in retirement. Early in 2024, literally on my 66th birthday, I ended up in hospital with a heart attack. Open heart surgery followed only days later. And that recovery time, post-surgery, gave me time to think and reflect. And I did a lot of it. And I started to write again. That's when I came back to Substack. Like many of you, I started writing again, publishing, testing, sharing. And for a while, it felt like I was back in the game until I realized I was back in the same trap, the same content economy that wore me down before was now beginning to wear me down again. At least it felt like that. And that book, The Wisdom Years, helped me see the new path. And since then, I've pivoted. I've started writing from the voice of a mentor. I've started mentoring others using my lived experience, guiding those who are ready to stop playing small and start playing true. So I'm not selling content, I'm sharing wisdom and being rewarded in ways far more meaningful than selling $5 PDFs on Gumroad. So what's this presentation really about? Well, I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to wake you up, to help you see what you've already got. You've got wisdom, you've got lived experience, and you have a lens of life, a lens on life that can't be Googled. You've made mistakes, haven't we all? Learned the hard way? Yes, we have. Lost and loved and tried again. And you're here. You're still standing. Together, we're still here. And that makes you rare in the big picture. And in that rarity, it also makes you valuable. And that's where it is. So now let me give you the 3 beliefs you need to enter the wisdom economy. The 3 beliefs you need to step into the wisdom economy are: 1, you don't need more content. You need a better container. You don't need more content. You need a better container. You are the container. You don't need more followers. You need the right people who value wisdom. And you don't need to be a coach or a consultant. You just need to show up as a guide. And that's it. That's your foundation. So now let's talk about what this actually looks like. All very nice, all very dandy sounding in theory. I could prattle on here for another half an hour just reading off my screen on words, but let's get to the meat of it. Let's get to what this actually looks like in real life for you. So here's what you'll do differently from today on. You'll stop asking, what should I post? What should I write? And you'll start asking, what do I know deep in my bones that someone else is ready to hear? That sounds simple, doesn't it? What do I know deep down that somebody else is ready to hear? And maybe you're not ready to answer that. Or maybe the question itself is an epiphany and you start writing and you can't stop. You'll stop chasing dopamine from likes. You'll start creating moments that change someone's thinking. You'll stop being just another voice in the feed. You'll become a trusted voice in someone's life. You'll stop trying to impress. You'll start expressing instead with clarity and calm. You'll stop selling information. You'll start delivering transformation. You'll stop playing in the sandpit. You'll step onto the stage where you belong. This is when you become the golden chalice. Right now, you might feel like your work is being poured from a plastic bucket. Generic, common, disposable. But what if I told you that you were never the bucket? You're the chalice. Golden, crafted, distinct. And what you carry, your wisdom, is precious. It's not for everyone, but for the right ones, it could be everything. Okay, so what happens next? Here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go back and reread your current Substack bio. That's the few sentences you've written when you first started your Substack account. And then you also wrote a bio, a short bio for your publication. But the bio I'm referring to is your account bio, your Substack bio. And I want you to read that, and then I want you to send it to me. A DM is fine. Send a direct message via Substack. Send me an email if you've got my email address, if you're an email subscriber. or just send me a link to your Substack using the URL. I want you to send it to me because it's going to tell me everything about how you see yourself. If not today, at least when you wrote that bio and published it. I think there's a good chance you've probably not been back and had a look at it since you first published it. Send it to me because I'm going to review it, and if it needs rewriting, I'm going to rewrite it for you. No charge from me, no obligation on you. There's no pitch to bitch about here. Just send me your current Substack bio. This is the start. And I'll rewrite it through the lens of the wisdom economy. So with the rewrite, you can see yourself the way others are meant to see you. Now, I've been paid thousands upon thousands in the past to write copy for others. Today, I'm going to do it for you without a fee because this is the shift. This is the moment. And you, my friend, I believe, are ready, or you wouldn't be sitting in on this presentation. 3 things you can do in the next 24 hours. Watch the replay of this live stream because you'll catch something that you might have missed. You're only looking for an insight. It could be just a couple of words or one sentence. That's all you need. Sit with the shift if you feel it. You'll know when you feel it because I often describe it as a little tickle behind the belly button. You know, that feeling inside, it's somewhere in your soul that just moves and it's moving you. If you feel that, then this is for you. You're right. You're in the right place at the right time and you're ready. So let that feeling sit. Let it land within you. Send me your Substack bio and let's reframe how the world sees you. And this is a start because now you're through the gates and into the wisdom economy. And let's have a look at some questions because I'm sure there's going to be some questions. I've anticipated what they might be, and I've written a Q&A if you like, and I'm going to go through these questions one at a time. What I'd like you to do, for those viewing right now on the live, is just at the bottom of the screen there, you've got a heart button. Just tap that heart button for me a few times and let me know that this is sitting with you okay, that you feel comfortable with what's been covered so far. Thank you. That's terrific. Thank you very much. Great to see. All right, so here's a few Q&As. What exactly is the wisdom economy? So let's recap. The wisdom economy is a shift from trading in content to trading in lived experience, perspective, and guidance. It's not about what you know. It's about what you've lived and how that shapes what others need to hear now. Do I have to become a coach or a consultant? No. This is about stepping into the role of guide or mentor, just like me. You don't need certifications. You just need the courage to own what life has taught you and share that with those who need it. How do I know if I have wisdom worth sharing? Well, if you've lived through things, learnt the hard way and grown from it, you've got wisdom. It's not about perfection, it's about perspective. You've earned it, now own it. I don't want to spend my days on Zoom calls. Can I still do this? Well, I can relate. Absolutely. There are many ways to deliver wisdom. There's writing, there's audio, there's small group sessions, there's one-time workshops, even digital downloads, courses. Zoom calls are only one option. Now, what makes this different from the expert economy? Remember the book, Expert Secrets? There's no contrary view. This is a parallel, really. The wisdom economy is a parallel to the expert economy. But there is a difference. Experts teach from knowledge. Wisdom teachers guide from experience. And one is a download, the other is a transformation. And you're not positioning as the smartest, you're showing up as the most grounded. Can I do this anonymously, or do I have to build a personal brand? You don't need to be loud or flashy. But yes, this works. It does work best when you show your face with some authenticity, share your story. As I like to say, get naked and share your story. Reveal the warts and all. You don't have to hang out all the dirty washing from your past, but you do need to give enough of it to show the human side of your background, your experience, and where the wisdom has come from. That's what moves people. I used to love saying when I was in sales, facts tell, but stories sell. And it's true. So you don't need to be loud or flashy. But yes, this works best when you show your face, share your story, and become a trusted voice. People buy from people they can connect with. And there's that word again, connect, connection. That's what it's about. Isn't everyone trying to monetize their knowledge right now? Won't I just blend in? Fair question, but most are still stuck in the content economy. You're stepping into a different arena. You're not pushing content, you're offering clarity, and that stands out. What if I feel like I'm starting too late? Well, that's the magic of the wisdom economy. You can only enter when you've lived through enough to gain the wisdom, and you're right on time. Is this just for writers on Substack? No, this is for anyone with lived experience and a desire to turn into an income through mentoring, guiding, writing, speaking, or teaching. What if I'm already selling PDFs or mini courses? Should I stop? No, no need to stop. But now you'll reframe them. Those offers can serve as doorways to higher value transformation. You'll start thinking beyond transactions. What if nobody wants to pay for my wisdom? Well, somebody already has. You just may not have noticed. That email you got thanking you for your post, or that comment that said, this really helped me, that's demand. Now you just need to repackage it, repurpose it, pour it from a different container. Remember I said earlier, it may feel like stuck in the content economy, you're pouring from a laundry bucket, plastic laundry bucket, into an ocean that's already full. That's what it felt like to me when you change the container, when you change and transform your identity and fit into that identity as the wise guide, mentor, when you come from that position, that makes all the difference. How do I package my wisdom? Well, you start with identity. That then create offers. Yes, create offers that reflect the value of lived experience. This might be a one-off mentorship call, a guided decision session, a roadmap based on your journey, And if you'll allow me to take another sip of water, please. Yeah, how do I package my wisdom? You start with identity. Identity, identity, identity. This is where we're going with this. Identity, identity, identity. You will develop a new identity when you are in the economy of wisdom. When you stay stuck in the content economy, you've got no identity. You're a commodity. Stop being a commodity. Stop feeling like a commodity. Give you permission to step out of that and step into a new identity. Well, it's not really a new identity. It already exists. It's just that you don't and haven't yet recognized it or don't allow yourself to recognize it. Can I combine this with my current job or business? Well, yes, many people begin monetizing their wisdom as a side income. It's flexible and scalable. You decide the pace. Well, I need a website, funnel, or landing page. Not to start, no. If you're already on Substack, you're good. You do need presence, clarity, and a simple way for people to reach you. Start simple. Isn't this just another way of selling myself? No, this is about sharing yourself. There's a huge difference because People are looking for human connection. There's that word again, connection. You're not selling in this instance, you're showing up. What if I hate marketing and self-promotion? I see this a lot on Substack. It's almost like marketing is a dirty word, like pornography. Piffle. It's okay if you want to write for love, and this is how you get your rocks off, self-satisfaction, ego strokes because you feel like you're writing pure writing, and that's what your audience wants. How in the hell do you know? How do you know what your audience wants if all you do is presume and assume that your lovely craft of writing is all that's required? Just put it out there and build it and they shall come. No, it is a little bit of an axe of mine to grind. What if I hate marketing and self-promotion? Perfect. The wisdom economy thrives on connection, not hype. Quiet voices, when rooted in experience, carry great weight. This isn't shouting, it's resonance. How do I find people willing to pay? Well, you start with people already reading you, following you, or connected to you. Share something real. Make a simple offer. Give them a way to respond. No pressure. Time to take a break. In that, just hit that heart button again for me, please. Those of you who have joined the live, and I'm really grateful that you're still with me watching this. And please just hit the heart button again. Let me know that this is hitting the right spot for you. Thank you very much for someone who just hit the heart button. I appreciate that. Isn't there already too much noise online? Well, yes, there is, and that's why this works, the wisdom economy. Amid the noise, calm voices with grounded wisdom shine brighter than ever. People are craving depth, authenticity. Can I really charge premium prices in the wisdom economy? Yes. People don't, thanks for the heart, people don't pay for content. They pay for transformation. You know what? If you had a pen nearby and a piece of paper, if I was you, I'd write that down. People don't pay for content. They pay for transformation. If you help someone make a decision, oh boy, back in my day when I was a social worker, way back, so many people stuck in life, not because of life, but because of the lack of the decision making. It just sometimes needs a decision and then some movement and momentum from the decision. People don't pay for content, they pay for transformation. If you help someone make a decision they've been stuck on for years, what's that worth? What should I charge to start in the wisdom economy? Well, start by asking what it's worth to the person on the other end. Then price accordingly. And I'll give you a hint. It's usually more than you think. I bet you'll underprice yourself if you're not already charging. How do I start small? Offer a 30-minute wisdom call. Invite someone you trust to a conversation. Ask what they're stuck on. Share what helped you through your life, your experience, your story, and see what shifts. Someone you're working with in the wisdom economy only needs to get one insight from you, and in that conversation, they're done. Let me give you a tip. When you're working and coming from the guide, the wise elder, and you're in conversation with somebody, and 5 or 10 minutes in, they say, wow, yes, that's it. Your job's done in that conversation there and then. I'm inclined to think that's when you say to the person you're helping, working with, talking with, we're done right now until our next conversation. That insight just landed with you. That's going to sit with you for the next days. As opposed to feeling like you've got to keep going and keep going. This is you in your position of a guide and an elder in the wisdom economy. I've got to keep going. I've got to solve this person's life in this 30-minute call. There must be more. there must be more that I've got to do. No, not at all. What if I'm not a great writer? Well, isn't that something all the great writers struggle with? It's commonly referred to as imposter syndrome. Some people don't like that terminology. I don't have a problem with it personally. It's just semantics to me. But what if I'm not a great writer? Then speak. Put yourself on video and see how you go. Do something like I'm doing right now and surprise yourself. Do a live stream on Substack. Write out some notes for yourself. Look, even if you read verbatim, if that gets you started, then do that. Speak. Record voice notes. Record just audio. You can publish audio on Substack. Host small circles. Wisdom doesn't have to be typed. It just needs to be shared. What if people reject or ignore me? Oh, whoa. Oh, no. Someone doesn't like what I said. Someone doesn't like how I look. Get over that. Boy, that holds a lot of people back. What will they say? What will they think? To hell with them. Some people will think that about you. Somebody will look at this video and not like my hair, my balding head, or the fact I wear glasses, or that I raise my eyebrows a lot. It doesn't matter. It's not about you. It's about the transformation you're delivering at the other end. And if somebody doesn't like you and they move on, so be it. You're not for everyone. Stop trying to be. Stop thinking you need to be. You're for the few who are ready for your wisdom. Focus on them. Now, when you enter the wisdom economy, can you turn this into a real income stream? Yes. It starts small, then grows as your identity strengthens. Now, it's possible to shift from an absolute zero base to a few $100s a month or $1,000 a month and then more. You can start doing this just as a side gig, if you like, or even part-time. I certainly wouldn't recommend jumping out of a full-time job and starting from scratch. You need to build this up. That would be the wise thing to do. You know, the disclaimer should be mentioned here that this is not meant to be financial advice. This is for information and entertainment purposes only, and you should always consult with a professional in matters to do with finance, legal matters, and matters of health. How do you stay motivated? This is from your point of view, you're asking me, how do I stay motivated? Well, remember, remember who you're doing this for. You're not about vanity, not about vanity metrics. Leave those who publish about their metrics to do that. That's fine. This is about helping someone get unstuck. Just one person to start with, and that's your fuel. I don't feel like a mentor. Should I still do this? Well, you don't have to wear a label. I call myself Mentor Mike, but you don't have to wear a label. Just be someone who helps others make sense of where they are. That's mentorship. What's the biggest mistake people make starting out? Well, trying to sell information. Don't do that. Sell insight, sell clarity, sell decisions, sell transformation. How do I know if I'm in the wisdom economy? Well, when you stop chasing content and start creating calm, when you realize people need what you've lived, not just what you've learned. What if I need help? Well, that's why this masterclass, this presentation, this live stream exists. You're not doing this alone. Reach out, connect, ask questions, contact me. And what's the next step for me? You. Well, send me your current Substack bio. I'll send it back to you. I'll have a look at it. I'll look at your whole Substack account. I'll review your bio, because that will tell me how you've framed yourself, your identity. And I'll rewrite it if necessary. You can use it or not use it. It's up to you. There's no charge, no fee, no obligation. I'll send you back a rewritten bio, reframed through the lens of you being in the wisdom economy. So there's no pitch involved, no pitching, no bitching, just clarity. And your next step will become clear from there. So there it is. I'm so glad that you've joined me live. And if you're watching the replay, I'm so glad that you've taken time to watch this about the wisdom economy. We started off by saying that there is a difference between the content economy and the wisdom economy. And Monica, thank you very much. I appreciate you and I appreciate your support, and I love what you're doing as well. I think you're already in the, Monica, if I could speak directly to you, I think you're already in the wisdom economy, and I think I get the feeling that you're about to flourish and really bloom. So thank you. So we made contrast between the content economy and the wisdom economy. And if you're stuck in the content economy, you'll know the frustration. You can step into the wisdom economy. You belong there. If you're of senior years, maybe you're retired, maybe you're a baby boomer. The wisdom you've got is what's going to make the difference. So you don't need more content. You need a different container. You're the container. It just needs you to realize and reframe your identity. And that's what we're about. Thank you very much. This is Mike Searles. Please send me your bio, or send me your Substack URL. You can do it through the direct message. It's private, so it's only between you and me what we're doing. No charge, no fee, no obligation, and we'll take it from there. Thanks again. Mike Searles, Mentor Mike, signing off. So glad to be with you today.